sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and can even keep you from getting the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. Listen, if you're like me, you hate doing admin crap. Number one, because you're not good at it. And number two, because you know it's taking you away from the stuff that actually makes you money. So why are you doing it? Do what I did. Go to worksby.com right now and let them pair you with a real executive assistant. Once I started working with Cheryl at Worksby, my income went up 40% in 1 month, and my working hours went from 70 down to 40. It's a game changer. Go to worksby.com right now, book a call, and tell them Walker sent you. If you do, you'll get 2 extra hours of service for free as a bonus. So if you're ready to finally stop doing the stuff you hate and focus on the stuff that makes you money, go to worksby.com right now. That's WORXBEE.com. Tell them Walker sent you, and you'll get those 2 free hours. Welcome to the OBS Sales School podcast. I'm your host, Walker McKay. I thought I would share today with y'all something that I have been struggling with, pushing around, trying to figure out, just kind of sharing what's going on inside my world. One of the things that I realized that I have done is I've created a job for myself, not a business. It's just me, right? I have help. I have a wonderful assistant, Cheryl. I have plenty of other people that are on my payroll that kind of help me do things, but it is me out catching, skinning, cleaning, cooking, eating, everything here. And so if something happens to me, not much, everything stops, right? Or if I want to go on vacation, everything stops. And, my clients, I let them know that I'm going to do that from time to time, but I really do feel funny about being gone more than, say, a week. And I want somebody else to kind of help me sustain this. There's also so many hours during the week that I can train and still run a business. And so I've set off about 2 months ago, and I went on this search for a person who could help me train, right? Somebody that I could teach the material to, somebody that is maybe they're a consultant now and they're looking for a side hustle. Maybe it's somebody that is, needs to, maybe they've got their own business and they want to learn how to sell better and wouldn't mind having some extra income working with somebody like me. I've probably talked to 20 people, and when I asked people, who do you know that might be a person to talk to? And I got a lot of trainers, people that were, professional trainers, and they would do it. And, one of the things I realized in my values was that I believe that salespeople, they can smell a fake, right? And I don't believe that somebody who does not know about sales will be very effective at training the stuff that I teach, right? The psychology of selling. I think you've got to understand the freaking angst and the frustration and the anxiety and sometimes the thrill of sales to really understand how to teach somebody that. So I felt like it's probably easier to train somebody with some B2B sales experience to train than it is to teach a trainer about sales, even if they've trained sales before, but have never really done it, never had to carry a quota, never had to worry about feeding themselves on commission. So it's interesting, though. I continued that along for a while, and a guy that I ran into came to me, and quite frankly, he's very experienced. He's run a couple of sales teams. He's done this, that, and the other. And we started talking, and he said, maybe I could help you with that, and it seemed pretty good. But then I began to realize I'm taking on a lot of burden here. This guy, I have a little PTSD from the way my old business was set up, the one previously where I was the underdog, the under guy. And it didn't work out because anybody that would do well doesn't want to be number 2. So anyway, I began to have this different brainstorm. What's a different way to do things, right? Instead of bringing in somebody to come under me, my goal when I sat down and put pen to paper was, by the way, I'm 56 and a half or almost 56 and a half, right? And so while I have this deep knowledge and a passion for what I do, and unlike others, I freaking love training salespeople. I've heard other trainers bitch about it, and I've been doing it 10 years and I'm freaking bored with it. I've been doing it 20 and I get a freaking thrill out of it, right? So I'm not trying to give that up because I'm ready to push it on somebody else. I just want more bandwidth. And also, I would like something that could continue on beyond me. So anyway, I had this guy that I started talking to, and I realized he was probably too senior in his position to come in and do this for me and have it work for any time for very long. So we started talking about something else, and we started talking about sales management training. He mentioned it, and I said, "Do you have any interest in that?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Have you done that before?" He said, "I've been a sales manager in 4 different companies, and I've worked on process." And I said, what if we created like another division, and all you did was sell and train sales management, right? And we have my parent company, McKay Consulting Group, was the parent company of that, but you kind of ran your own business underneath that. We work at some kind of a revenue share, and maybe we create the content together. And then you can run your own deal and I can help, and we can all kind of run along together. And then I started thinking, and what are some other things that companies need? What if I was able to find somebody else that was was a pretty good recruiter for salespeople, and they wanted to have their own business, but really needed somebody to help them break the headwinds, right? Somebody who's already started with a brand, who's already been moving ahead on this, and we could refer each other business and help each other. And there's already business coming in my door. I could flush it out the other way, and we're doing kind of a revenue share. And then what about somebody who does lead generation? I began to see this almost like a law firm, right? How can I create this umbrella of places, umbrella of people that can deliver services to my clients, right? With the revenue share thing. And either simultaneous to, before, during, after, I find somebody junior, right? That I can afford to bring into the business. I can afford to train them how to sell, and then I can train them how to train. And so that in 4 or 5 years, I can, instead of being in the business all the time, I can have somebody else who maybe is doing more of the training than me, allow me to step out some, right? And then I begin to manage the business. Not that I wouldn't have to do that all along, but I can manage it. My people I coach and train are the people that are running these different divisions. And all of a sudden that felt very much in line with who I am and what I want to do, right? And the kind of thing I want to create to try and transform sales, right? To bring it from old school to new school, and to be a place where people could come to get the help that they need, that there's not one place that I'm aware of right now where they can do all those things. So I would love some feedback from you guys. First of all, I appreciate your getting a lot of reviews, which I appreciate. Freaking go down, and if you have not yet, give me 5-star review and subscribe to this podcast. That's one thing. Number 2, share it with somebody else that needs to hear this lesson, that needs to hear what it is we're talking about here, that you want to spread the no BS, right? Spread the love, no BS sales team. Love your feedback, walker@walkermckay.com. What do you think about that method of expansion, right? We're still kicking around the idea. Don't know where it's going to go, if I've got the right people or anything else, but that's kind of where my mind is now. How does that feel to y'all? Does that make sense? Love your feedback, walker@walkermckay.com. Ciao.